to the back end, and then essentially we're waiting for it to redirect to the correct sort of page and so forth like that. What we've got to do now, so we've got to do the CRUD. So if I type in another problem, all right, and then what we want to do is we want the create, read, update, and delete functionality. So the create at the moment, we're doing it for the front end. We just need to do it for the back end. So yeah, with the back end, we've got to save the data and all that kind of fun stuff. So yeah, let's jump into it. And then the read section will happen after that. So that will be the information page. And then the update will be their own endpoints. Because we'll have the information page underscore save. We won't be doing a lot of this using Ajax. We'll have to also think about the groups and around this, because we don't want a task assigned to a user straight off the bat. We want them to be users and so forth like that. In the future, we might decide to be like, hey, let's include users into this, but we want feedback first. And then the delete functionality, which will be very easy to do, that will be all on the information page too. All right, cool. All right, so let's start with the create stuff. That I'm just going to close all these tabs. We're going to minimize everything. We're going to go and only focus on what we need. So we want to go into NearBeach views, and then we want to go into the object scheduler view. So in here, we've got the new scheduled object that will render the new scheduled object page. And then we've got the new scheduled object save, which is where we'll send the request to. And this is where we'll save the data. So what we want to do is we want to create a form. We want to get this form data through. Yeah, we want to create a form. So the good news is, because projects and tasks, and we're probably only going to be using this for projects and tasks, the good news is they've got the same layout, so we can use the objects sort of stuff. And we've just hit our first ad break. So yes, let's go on to ad time. Hopefully everyone's going well tonight. It is Wednesday here. So yeah, not too bad. It's 18 degrees Celsius in here today. So that's actually really good. Not gonna lie, that's about 64 Fahrenheit. So yeah, not too bad. Not gonna complain at all. I've got my jumper on, still wearing shorts, and so forth like that. So yeah. How long? 50 more seconds to the ad break finishes. All right, so yeah. Plan of attack for this. Oh, I'm not running my server, am I? No, I'm not. That was a bit silly of me. So yeah, 30 seconds left. Yeah, I can't believe I was so tired last on Monday. Yeah, sorry about that. So these things happen. Yeah, I went to bed really, really early, and I woke up super early too. And then one of our websites went down. So yes, great fun. But it was a good thing that I woke up before it went down, and we were able to restore it pretty quickly. So I was happy with that. Okay, so we're at 3, 2, 1, and welcome back everyone. Let's jump back into it. So what we want to do, let's open up this, is we're sending each of this bit of data to the back end. We want a form that collects all of this. from the object type to the description and all that kind of stuff. So, yes, let's create that form. So I'm minimizing everything. I'm opening up NearBeach, and then we want our forms. And what we want to do here, I'm opening up the structure just because I like this in alphabetical order. It's going to be easier if I actually see it in here. So we want new. We want new object form. So what I want is class new object, new scheduled object. Sorry. So, class new scheduled object, and this is just going to be a form. So what we want is object type, and that's going to be forms.model choice field, and then the query set is going to be, this is where I'm going to look up Django query set as list. All right, hang on. Let's just put it in as a list anyway. So list, what we want is project and task. So it has to be a project and a task. Required, we don't have required equals true. Then we have object title equals forms.character field, max length is going to be 255. The stock standard stuff, which we've got everywhere else, and then object description, forms.character field. Ooh. Look at new project, and there's going to be a reason being. Ooh, we actually want to copy those 6. All right, we actually want to copy all this anyway. Instead of project, we want task. Group list is what we want, and UUID is what we want too. We've got 2 spaces. Oh, no, we don't. There we go. So what we also want in here is we want object description. And this is where we'll open up our models form. In here, we want to go into project, and we've got a text field instead of a character field. So going up into the forms, I am going to remove that and go forms. I think text area. All right, give me 2 seconds. Yeah, we want a field in there. Yeah, they're widgets. So let's have a look at the fields. Yeah, widgets, not fields. All right. This is where I just got to double check things. So, Django forms field for large text. Use text field. Avoid using null or on-string-based fields such as character field or text field if a string is... All right, I'm just going to click on this. Oracle does not support correlations for text field. Ooh, all right. That's a bit of a pain. Considering if we go to the models, yeah, it is a text field. But the forms does not have text field in there whatsoever. And I'm not sure if that's gonna suffice. Yeah, we'll find out. All right, that should all be ready. I hate how the fact that I go anywhere near the F1, it just keeps doing that. All right. New scheduled object, object type, yada, yada, yada. Okay. All right. So, going back into here, what we want to do is we want to get the form data. So we go form equals, and this would be new scheduled object form. We need a name. We need to do that, which will require request.post. We also need to import this in. All right, and then if not form dot is valid, return HTTP bad request, and then we go form dot errors to send back, and we're fine. So this should now be working. Okay. So now I need to think about how we've set up this data again. So in here, we've got a massive amount of stuff which we spent planning out. Okay, so with the database, we've got the template. So what we want is pretty much everything fits in object.json. The idea being is this template I'm going to be using for other sort of features too. They're going to have a different structure with that JSON. The good news is with projects and tasks, it'll have the same sort of structure. And then we just need the object type. So fitting this into the database. Oh, we haven't actually put in the frequency on the front end yet. We haven't set up this yet, which we should do right now. But that's fine. We can at least key this stuff in and then key this stuff in. So what we'll have is the object type. Which is going to be a string. And then the object JSON is everything fitting in that structure. Pretty sort of easy stuff. We've done this before. So we have used a similar sort of thing where we hold data in a JSON sort of format. And if I open up and I browse data and I go user settings, as you see, we do this already with the user settings. So very easy for us to actually do. Okay, so what we want, set up the object JSON. And then we'll have it like this. I'm going to go to views. I'm going to go use the setting views. We're going to look at what we've done in the past. Oh, I think, oh, we do it at the front end. All right, not a problem. We can do it here and we'll figure it out, whether or not it gets made successfully or not. So what we want, object title, sorry about this. Form.cleanData object title, object description, object description, I feel like I am forgetting stuff. So object type, object description, stakeholder organization. So if we actually create something very quickly and capture that network bit of traffic. Yeah, that last error I'm not worried about. I'm moving this back to the left so you guys can actually see. So if we click on this, we go into the request and response. Sorry, we could not create the scheduled object. Network error. Oh, I didn't hit the back end for some strange reason because I've got this set up like this. Sorry. All right. Not a problem. What we'll actually do is we'll resend it. Is it not loading up correctly? All right, let's do it here. Oh. I'm just going to restart it. Stop and rerun. All right, I've got a... That's why I've got a mistake somewhere else. URLs, config, init. All right. No, that's not what I want. It's this one I want. All right, let's remove that. List object has no attribute all. Okay, that's fine. Stop and rerun. We'll come back to that. So yeah, let's click on this. Let's delete all this. Let's fill this in. So let's go project, object title, object description. Let's pick the NearBeach. Let's pick the days. Let's pick that. Let's hit create. Now we're getting a 200 because it'll just return it. And we're fine with that. So as you see, we've got object type, object title, object description, organization we don't have. So we need to go over here. We also need to fix this up. And we need to set that as a query list. So only project or task will come through. So I'm going to go organization equals forms dot model choice field, and then we go query set equals organization dot objects dot all, and then required equals true because we need it. We need an organization. Do we need an organization nowadays? Yes, we always need an organization. All right. Cool. So now I need to actually do that. Yeah, it's not a model, it's a choice field. All right. Yeah, I made a very big boo-boo. So yeah, it should be a choice field. In reality, I like to spread these out. So we're just gonna wait a couple of seconds. It all runs. We're gonna just resend this. This has a 500 issue. The response is too many values unpacked, expected to. All right. And hold on. Okay. Yeah. I just got this wrong. So what I want to do is I want to do project task. Oh, I've got that wrong already. Yeah. The joys of using multiple different languages. You always get mixed up with this little tiny syntax. All right, so If we go to the front end now and we right hand click and resend, everything's perfectly fine. And we've got our setup view. Cool. That is awesome news. So what we've got here now, if we go to the object scheduler, is we can now set up this. So we've got organization. That will be form.cleanData. And organization. Let's have a look at the, so we've got project, object title, object description, organization, object start date, object end date. Which will be form.cleanData, object end date, and then we got UUID. Oops, we got the little comma there. What else do we have? We got the group list. All right, sweet. Yeah, that's as much as we're sending at the moment for this particular thing. So what we want to do is we want to remove all of that, and then we want to save to database or save data. So this will be submit template, wouldn't it be? Submit object template. And then what we have in here will be the object template type equals we get that from the form clean data, and then we've got object type. And then we'll have object template JSON equals, and then we just go JSON dot, would this be loads or dumps? We'll figure this out now by looking at our old, we get that from the form. Yeah, we get that from the form. Object JSON, CLS equals Django JSON encoder. Expected string bytes got dict. I think so. And then we need change user is request.user. And that's pretty much it, I think, so far. So if let's put a breakpoint here. Let's right hand click and resend. Straight away we got a internal, all right, object title. Okay, what's happened here? Object title. Line 80. And what we have Oh, sorry. Let's have a look at the forms. Object type we're fine with. Object title. Yeah, all right. Let's just do this for a second. I just want to go object title pane because it's funny. And let's see if that works. So waiting a few seconds for the Django to redo its thing. So we've got this, we're going to step over. All right, that was fine. And we've got the object title pane. And we have an error. Object template type expected a number, but got project. Ooh. We can fix this. So instead of the choices being this, what are the choices? If we have a look at the models, we go up to the top, we have in here object template type. So if we go models, we need to import it in. So 772. So from models, import all of this. Just import it like that. Object template type. Cool. Waiting a few seconds. And then what we want to do, hit resend object type. It doesn't like it. All right, let's have a look at how we've set it up. So I'm just going to copy this. We're going to go over here. We're going to open up a new tab. We're going to go source VM bin activate. We're going to go Python 3 manage shell. So we're going to go into the shell from NearBeach.models import everything, because we usually do that anyway. And then we're going to paste in our object template type. So if we go object template type, and we go project, it's gonna, it's gonna have an issue. Oh, sorry, ad break. I am sorry about that. I didn't realize that there was an ad break on. Yeah, we're just gonna convert this properly now and figure out how. Now, if we can't do it in the back end very easily, we can always do it in the front end, and that's just gonna take us a couple of seconds. It's not gonna take that long whatsoever. All we need to do is essentially tell the dropdown that, hey, the value, instead of being project, is going to be 1, and the other value is just going to be 0. And then what we do is we just use that tuple the same as before and be like, these are the choices. So yeah, that's hopefully not going to be a problem. Fingers crossed. Famous last words, Definitely nothing goes wrong when I say this. Nothing at all. And man, do I need a haircut. Look at this compared to, like, oops, wrong side. Compared to that, oh, look at this. Damn. Really need, really do need trim. This thing's getting massive. And welcome back, everyone. As you see, we weren't talking too much. So the idea is, what I'm going to do is, if we can't get this, Okay, so it's going to be a 0 or a 1. Oh, all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to edit the front end. Not going to be a problem. So components, this would be part of the, we don't have a scheduler thing. Object scheduler, yes we do. Don't worry, I'm going crazy. And then what we want to do under the data section, we actually set the data for that drop down. So as you see here, we've got value project. It's going to be 0. In fact, I think I can just do it as a number, and then I got a 1. I believe that will work, and then this will succeed, and then I'll rerun this. So if we go project, object title, object description. All right, then we delete everything here and we go create new project. So, and we see the request. We can't see the request at the moment because it's just going to do this. Or I don't know what happened then, but so it's going to send 0. Okay, cool. So if I think it passed. So if I do this now, and we wait, and then we go resend, and then we just step through this. It's going to have an exception, isn't it? Don't know why I kept going through all of those. Silly of me. Object title. Form clear. Hang on a minute. That's object title. All right, let's start from the top. Let's go one. Yeah, hang on. Forms. Object title is just a character field. Object scheduler, view, new scheduled, object save. And line 80. All right, this one worked before when we changed it, because that tuple will now work. But yeah, object title, why? Okay. I'm confused, but raise during the alert. All right. Let's get rid of most of this. Let's start with just that. Waiting a few seconds. We're going to resend. That's also object of type J. let's simplify this. So object title equals form dot clean data object title. Then we want to go to the forms object title. Let's put a breakpoint there. Let's hit resend. We've hit the breakpoint. We're going to jump over and it runs into an error. Why? Why? You're right there. Required equals true. It's the only thing I can think of right now. We're validating the form and everything up here. So I'm just going to put a breakpoint up there, remove that one, and we are going to just resend this. So we're up here. We're stepping over. We've made sure that the form is valid. The form now, after the validation, will actually fill out the fields. So we should see in here the fields, which we can expand open. So we've got object type, object description, organization, object start date, object. We don't have title. But I do send it through. Why? Hang on a minute. I think I'm doing an idiot thing. Oh no, character field is right. Max length and required. Okay. We're going to reset the server. No, we're going to start again. We're going to step over. So we've got our form. It doesn't fill out the values until we fill it out. I've got object type, object description, organization, object start date, object end date, group list, UID. I don't have object title in there. Yes. That's annoying. All right. Oh no, that wasn't it. eSocks. All right. This is a bit weird. Oops. Socks. Sweetie. No, don't delete my work. All right, so another thing we could look at is the post. So we've got request, we've got post, and if we open up post, we've got object title in there. Ah, oops. That one's meant to be there. Have I spelt it wrong here? Object title. All right, waiting a few seconds, gonna hit reload, gonna delete all of this. Let's type in project, let's go test this title. Object description. So if we go over here, we step over our form. I now can't see anything. Huh. That is super freaking weird. It's got everything else in there. All right, let's just close that off. Let's see if it fails on anything else. Group list it'll fail on. UID, all of this other stuff will be perfectly fine. And then what we do is we wait just a little while and we resend. So fine, no, play, response, object type of all right, cool. So we gotta do that there. So we've got 3 fields which we need to actually sort of fix up. I don't know why I did that. All right, going back here. Okay, cool. So that object should be serializable now. And then if we go over here and we refresh, sorry, we should actually go into the NearBeach template. Object template. So there it is. There's our latest one. It's just, yeah, the object title. It's not wanting to extract it out of this data. So there it is. There is the object title. Everything's matching everything. What if it's a reserved field? Things happen. In which case, we just changed just one little tiny thing to test this out. All right, cool. That should be enough. Let's hit reload. There we go. Delete everything. Let's go up here. All right, so we've got this happening now. We'd go forward. All right. So I'm going to minimize everything under form. We have clean data. Object type. Cool. Object description. Sure. Organization, start date, end date, group list, UUID. I still don't have the object title whatsoever. There it is though. Object title field. Object title. So if I hit play, let's say I call it in here. Let's do this. Let's wait a few seconds. Let's resend 500 error. Guaranteed to be like, yeah. But if we put a breakpoint on here and resend it, we've got the data. There it is. It's just not up here. Tell you why. Let's just remove those. Waiting a few more seconds. Object type, it's still not coming up. Still not coming up. And I can't see anything which would cause that, because if we have a look at the forms, object title field, object description, they're pretty much exactly the same. Why? All right. Okay, character field, label equals database, widget inputs. All right, cool. That's cool. Yep. Okay, that's not what I want. All right. Not what I want. All right, this is... Okay. Yeah, that's fine. We're doing all of that. Why isn't that letting me do that now? All right. Let's play around with this. And that will be a string that will pass through as a string. Everything's happy with that particular character field. We could even change this to a text. No, that's once again. All right, so everything should rebuild. Let's hit refresh. Let's delete all this. Let's have a look. We've got project title in here. Under the clean data. All right. And we would have the same error being like, hey, that's not a field. So let's go back here. Let's just do that. Let's wait for ages. Let's just hit reload. Let's remove everything. Let's and object title's now appearing. I don't know what the hell went wrong then. Oh no, it's throwing up an error. Object title field. Ah, yep. Weird. All right. And hey, Nocturnal! I just had a weird error that solved itself. Essentially, object title wasn't in the cleared data. Then I started changing its name. Now it's reappearing. I couldn't see any typos or anything like that because I copied and pasted the variable names. I don't know what went wrong there. So now I've got to key back in information in here and so forth like that. Anyway, I'm just going to hit play. You go in here and go required equals true. Max length equals 255. So yeah, I'm scratching my head. I don't know. How are you, at least? Yes, they're constantly hanging around me all the time. We all know this by now. Yeah, I find all the bugs. You're good? Oh, that's good to hear. Yeah, I can't complain. Looking forward to my holiday, let's just say that. I am going to enjoy a month off. My leave got approved, and I have so much leave that not only did the month leave just went boop, I've still got 9 days worth of leave in my bank, which is just under 2 weeks, of course. But that also means by the time my holidays come and finish, it'll be almost 3 weeks of leave, or probably past 3 weeks of leave. So yeah, I could take another bit of leave. Yeah, it's a lot of leave. I didn't take much leave last year because I was saving up for this particular year, and also the year before I essentially had 2 months off that year, mainly because in 22 I had the accident. So yeah, and I felt bad. But come next year, I'll still have a lot of leave, and I'll be like, yeah. All right, so setup view, that's happening really well. In the group list and the organization, what we want is we just want the ID of the organization. So we're going to go organization equals form.clean data, and we're just going to go organization, and we'll be happy with that. And then we'll go organization dot organization ID. We only need the organization ID. How much you allowed to carry over? Don't know. But I'll be taking my laptop. Definitely be taking my camera. Gotta ask my friend if he wants to borrow my other camera. I'll be taking clothes and stuff like that. It's going to be summer over there. So I'll take one jumper for when I climb Mount Fuji. I'll be buying a lot of sunscreen. I'll probably take sunscreen over. Otherwise, I think it'll be much like how I travel to Thailand or Fiji or somewhere warm. I don't think I'll be traveling with much. It's not like I'll have my own suitcase because I'll be in Japan by myself for 2 weeks. But I don't think I'll fill it out. I think it'll be just the usual sort of stuff. Got really badly sunburnt climbing Mount Fuji. Yeah, I will be smothering myself in sunscreen. I burn like there's no tomorrow. It's the ginger. I burn like there's no tomorrow. He's ginger. Yeah. Yeah, I fully understand. I used to say the joke, oh, I'm going to go outside today. Let me fill up my bath full of sunscreen. So, yeah. It's what happens to us gingers. All right, so another thing I want to do is I want to create a group list equals this. And then I'm going to yank this out, and I'm going to go prepare the group list. So group list equals this. Then for group in form.cleanData group list, what we want to do is we want to go group list.append, and we're going to go group ID, and that's all we need. Oh, and we're on an ad break. All right, cool. I'm just going to go here, and I'm just going to talk about Japan. Yeah, I'm excited. So I've been learning a little bit of the characters and stuff like that. Just the very basic sort of stuff. One, to annoy my friend, because he's Japanese, and I'll be like pointing at things and trying to say it, and he'll just be like, this is so embarrassing. And two, just so I kind of understand things, if that makes sense. To a very basic level. I'm terrible at picking up languages and so forth like that. Absolutely terrible, but it'll be fun. So yeah. What else will I be doing in Japan? So I want to visit a distillery. Definitely, I do enjoy some Japanese whiskies and stuff like that. Definitely want to go to a couple of bars, of course. Mount Fuji, I would take lots of photos, so I'm getting my camera ready for it too. I've misplaced my 50mm lens. I don't know where I've got it. I think I've got it at the partner's place. Could not find it the other week, and I'm like, oh god. So this is on my old camera. I've got an old 40, and oh no, that's the filter. What is this? Yeah, this is the old 50, so this is very manual. This lens is probably from the 70s. So yeah, it's a very old lens. Yeah, I'll have to find my 50 and stuff like that, and get pretty much. I've just got to collect my camera gear and get ready when going over. I don't have any small form factor cameras apart from my phone anymore. So yeah. Oh yeah, I have a bottle of Toki downstairs. Yeah, I have a bottle of what is it? What is it? It's gonna drive me nuts. And I can't spell Japanese right. This one. I just want to just go to that page. Yeah, this one. I've got a bottle of this. You have the second image. Yeah, all right. Where are they located? Because we haven't fully planned where we're going and stuff like that, and I'm hoping it's not a very last second thing to do, because that will slightly annoy me. So if I go, and I really should have been like, what was, oh shoot. Oh, hang on. You wrote it down. Let's do this. Where did you write it? Toki, whiskey. Oh, well, there's one of them. But I don't, is that the... Ah, Centauri. Yeah, all right, cool. So yeah, that's not too far. Yeah, I'm sure we can get there. At least in one of them. So, yeah. We won't be visiting all of them. So, yeah. I don't know how far down we'll go. I don't know how far across we'll go. I know that I'll probably be ditched and wander around Tokyo for a week or two. Or I might spend a week up at Sapporo. So, yeah, just go on a whiskey tour. That will be hilarious. I won't remember any of it, though, which will be very upsetting. So, yeah. Okay, cool. So, getting back into this group list, I then should have group list equals group list here, and then we get rid of that. Okay, so that should, if I go in here, I do this. There's no deletes, mass deletes in here, is there? No. Execute query, delete from, this would be NearBeach. What was the object template? We're going to be naughty. Cool. Very naughty. Just because I just want to resend this one. So I'm going to resend. It's going to go up here. I'm just going to hit play. I'm going to hit play. Hoping for the best. Database is locked. Oops, sorry, sucks. Alright, easy done. Just resend. There we go. Cool. And if we go over to the database and we hit refresh, what we have is this data here. I can't get that over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy. And then I'm just going to go over here and I'm going to go JSON pretty. And everyone's going to be like, ooh, I'm just going to remove all of that. I'm going to paste it in, and there it is. So we've got object title, object description, organization. So that's going to be the ID, because the name can change, but the ID won't. The object start date, the object end date, UUID, which is for the images and so forth like that. And the group list, now this could be for multiple groups. Once again, name can change, so we're just going to have the ID in there, and that's what we need for the template. Because from here, what will happen is the template will look, oh, we should definitely keep template type in here. Definitely keep the template type in here. So I'm going to put that in. Oh, well, oh God, I can't type. Object type. All right, cool. So going over here, I'm just going to resend this. Over here, we're just going to hit this. We're just going to go like this, and we've got it as a 0. Ooh. Yeah, I kind of, because 0 means nothing. We've got to then decode that. In a database, it'll be fine. All right, cool. Sorry, Socks, I'm just moving your tail out of the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have some temp code up here. I'm going to go object type. I can't type, can I? Form.cleanData, object type. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The choices are in the models. It's just this. So I just need this in here. But I'm going to see what this will give me first. So once we know it's going to work, we hit that, we go over here. We're going to jump over that, and we've got the object type. Object type is just going to be string 0. Yeah, sure. All right, so in the models file, we've got this, which if memory serves me correctly, it's called tuple, possibly. I keep forgetting all the names of all the different data structures and types and all that kind of stuff, because I have a very bad memory. Why not store them as a dict? It's that thing. All right, I've. That's tuple. All right, cool. Why it's not stored as a dict? Just because I have it as the choices in here. And I've kept it as an integer field, and essentially that's how I've done it for all of them. So okay. That would definitely work with this. I will have to double page layout. I don't think is used anywhere anyway. I'll have to double check with a lot of these other ones too, because I think they've used elsewhere. But otherwise, yeah, I can do that. And then just because, oh, I don't want to hit that. How are these done? Oh, okay. Yep. So what I want to do, that. And then I just want to go object template type. And then I just want to go items like that. Although to be fair, searching the tuple would likely still be quicker. Okay, so hang on, let's undo this. All right, how? Just wait. Python search tuple. If you're searching for tuples with one in them, what? If you want the first number to match, then you can do it like this, and we just need to do it like that. Just loop over it. All right, cool. So item in A if item 0 equals. All right, sweet. Yep, cool. So essentially, if we go into here and we go, let's just paste that in for reference. So, oh, sucks. I'm very confused by that one line. That is not a good way. Yeah. All right, let's see. Dict test. Yep, cool. Test prints 1. There's actually a clever way to do this that is useful. List of tuples where the size of each tuple is 2. You can convert it into a single dictionary, which we could potentially do. So if we go A equals dict object template type, and then if we go in here and go it'll be like that. That could potentially work. Don't convert it into a dict. All right. Yep. Cool. Socks, sweetie. Come here. Come on. All right. So yeah, just loop through it. Let's play over here. It sucks. I'm just doing that to shorten it down. So for A in B, so it'll be like that, and then if B0 equals I'm just putting in project, then so be kind of like that. But in reality, that should be like that. And then we do that. And then we go like that. All right. You want A? Oh, yeah. I'm just having a brain fart moment. Yeah. All right. Cool. Brain fart moment. Anyway, sucks, sweetie. I need my mouse. Cool. So what we would want to do is we don't have that. So I'm just going to go like that. I'm going to go and hit play and ignore everything else. So we'll have object type by default is going to be project. I mean, in reality, we've just got 2 particular fields, but if we update this in the future and include any other excess stuff, we don't want a bug happening and so forth like that. So what we could do, make it a little function. All right, yeah, cool. We can do that in here. Okay, oops, socks, be careful. Def get object type, and then this will be get object type from int. And there we go. We'll have the int in there, loop through the object template type. So what we need to do for single tuple in object template type. Why is that not now? Oh, I need to import that into here. So that's pretty easy to do. That's from NearBeach.models import object template type. Done. Object template type. So if single tuple 0 equals the object type int, return single tuple, and then we'll just do a 1, and we're happy. That's it. That's all we need. So then when we go down here, we can delete the careful socks. Be careful. That's right. I needed to do it like that. And thank you very much for the follow, bro. CO. Sorry, I'm terrible with new names and stuff like that. But thank you very much for the follow, bro. Welcome, welcome. I do hope you are enjoying my content. So yeah. And welcome. Yeah. We are just figuring out a few things on here. So yeah. If you don't know what I'm building an open source project management system called NearBeach. I will just get rid of that. So at the moment we're building a scheduler in it. So the idea being is you can schedule the creation of projects and tasks at certain intervals and so forth like that. But otherwise with NearBeach you can gather basic organization and customer information, you can build Kanban boards, you can create projects and tasks, you can gather user requirement items, and when you're ready to deploy, a request for change. So yeah, welcome, welcome. I do hope you are enjoying the content. And I realize there's object type, and what we need here is we need the get object type from int, and we just key that through like that, and I think that will work perfectly. I can make it generic, eh? Hang on, I'm putting this on the big screen. Ah. All right, cool, done. And I just did something silly. There we go. All right, cool. Traces, key V, return V. All right, sweet. Okay, I just got to do a little tab cleanup. And just a little that. And that's meant to be one line in, like there. There we go. Yeah, cool. Sweet, thank you very much, Nocturnal. And for those that hopefully heard that, Socks just did a little tiny sneeze. It was a little achoo. Okay, so what we need here is object template type, and that should work. No, that should be at the level it was, but K to key. Sorry, wrote it quickly. Yep, now I know what you mean. There we go. Yep, cheers, thank you. All right, getting back into here. All right, object type, and yep, cool, done. And then if I'm using this elsewhere and so forth like that, I'll put this in as a generic function somewhere. Which reminds me, I should actually see if we do have internal functions. Which I should be using that there. Yeah, all right, socks down. Sweetie, you know that's no. What did we call it? Yeah, look up. So anyway, socks. Sorry, I need to see my keyboard. All right, cool. So that will be in here. And then I just flag it as internal function, so I remember. And then over here, we just do all this, and then we go from nearbeach.views.tools.internal functions, and then we go look up choice key. Done. That way, I can start using it everywhere. Sweet. Okay, cool. Where was I? Scheduled objects. No. So new scheduled object save. So that will save that. And then we'll be quite happy with that. All right, let's just test it. Thank you very much, Nocturnal. I'm just going to hit refresh. Let's pick an object type. Let's go random title. That random description. I'm just gonna. Sorry, I pressed the wrong buttons. Random title. What I'm doing is I'm just testing with the escape characters. All right, something went wrong. Let's find out what went wrong again. Missing entry for 1A. All right, no problem. Let's do this. So here we are. So if K equals key, so K equals 0 and key equals 1. All right, and the choices are that and that. I'll need to convert it into an int. Oh yes, it's a string. All right, easy done. Oh, just wait. Need to convert before passing in. All right, yep, good point. Cool, so we'll go back to the object scheduler. We will find this piece of code. So down it is here. What we want to do is, if memory serves me correctly, in Python it's this. If you do it there, it'll fail if you use the string ones for others. Yeah, good point. Good point. So we'll have it like that. We wait a few seconds. We're going to right-hand click. We're going to hit reschedule. We're going to bump this over. There we go. That's working fine. I'm gonna view all breakpoints. Oh god, I've got so many breakpoints in the system. Done. All right. So that worked perfectly, and I'm just going to do one more test. Boom. All right, and if we go into here, we do this. I'm just going to copy. I'm just going to go in here. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to paste this in. Presto. So object type is task. Sweet. So what will actually happen is when we set up this schedule and stuff like that, we'll actually look at that object type and be like, if it's a project, we go for this particular table. If it's a task, we go for this, and so forth like that. And the conversions are pretty easy. It's not going to be hard. Famous last words, by the way. Cool. So, getting back into this, I think we've got the saving of the template down pat. Now we've got to do the scheduler, and we haven't actually done the scheduler on the front end. So if I move this to the right, and then I bump this down a little bit, we don't have the ability to schedule on here. Yeah, quick 5-minute fix, 10 hours later. Yep, we've all been there. Or, oh god, I swear to you, once there was a bug which took me so long to actually find a fix for. I'm just talking a couple of hours long. So it was if condition open bracket results. This is really hard to see. I'll do it here. I'll do it here. So this is in C#. And it took me so long to find this little tiny thing here. Anyway, we've hit another ad break. Ad break ends in, yep, I'm reading that correctly. Cool. What is the time? It's 8:30. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was exhausted this time, like on Monday. I had to give up around about this time. I was just like, ugh. So, yeah. Anyway, I remember spending days pairing with someone else, trying to figure out a bug. It was in the caching layer of the framework we were using. Oh, that's, yeah, so many times I've had issues where people have been like, hey, we've got this problem, and I'm like, all right, cool, I don't have that problem. We fix that problem. They're like, we're still having that problem. I'm like, what the hell's going on? We're using a CDN, and the problem was that even though it's been well over 24 hours, the node near them was still caching the wrong JavaScript. So it still had the old version on there. So I had to do a cache buster on our side where we have a version in the URL connected to all of our sort of stuff. And I just had to apply that. So yeah. There are, and nowadays, whenever I deploy any of like JavaScript or anything like that, and I'm using that the CDN and so forth like that, I will do multiple cache busters. So yeah. Anyway, getting back to this. Yeah. It's something very hard that it takes forever to actually find, and then you realize that you've solved it, and you're like, huh? All right, it was this little lovely semicolon at the end of the code that is one of my longest finds before. Yeah, simple typo. Happens to all of us. All right, so this is now This is now saving the template fine. We've got to get the scheduler in there. The semicolons are hide and seek champions. They totally are. I do really enjoy them because mainly my first sort of real like I knew BASIC when I was like 10 years old and so forth like that because I had a calculator where I could program it. However, my first sort of real language was C, and I love the semicolons. Just being able to tell that it's the end of the line and stuff like that. And I was doing some weird stuff in C, just experimental stuff, which I would be like nowadays being like, don't do that. That's terrible code. So yeah, that's just Stockholm Syndrome. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I do suffer it. Like, how long have I been working on NearBeach for now? Oh God. Would be years. However, I like to say I restarted working on it back in August 2020. So yeah, don't forget to drop everyone. I'm going to do Frankie. All right, so we need to get the scheduler in. Let's open up the drawer. Let's scroll all the way down to the bottom. So let's do problem. And what is our problem? What will the schedule look like? Now, the thing is, oh, I should have done this problem up further. Sorry, give me 2 seconds. Oh, this is slowing down. I don't know if you guys can see that, how slow it is. All right, let's, it's because it's a really big sheet. I know I extracted it out as an image the other day. It was like 4 megabytes. Okay, we have frequencies up here. Okay, so I wanted to scroll up here just to have a look at this and sort of copy what we're going to do here. So let's write this up here. So problem. What does the scheduler look like? All right, but we're breaking it down. So what we could do is daily. These are our options: daily, weekly, fortnightly, oops, pen not doing its thing. What was the other one? Start of the month, end of the month. End of month. X days before end of month. All right, we weren't going to do the last business day and the first business day just yet. The reason being is those we can implement those in the future. I just want to keep this as simple as possible. So going back to here where we were discussing this and so forth like that. So with the daily, let's just go over here. Let's just put in the options over here. So daily. What we want is we want start date, That's just going to be a date picker. And now this is the thing. Do we want to use... We've got number of repeats in here, which we can do with 2 end date fields very easily. And I feel like that should be optional. I feel like having a date picker for it would be better. Because we said with the number of repeats, if it's -1, we keep going. I'm just wondering if we should use an end date field. Hang on, let's draw up what I mean. So what I mean is if we've got a has end date, and that's a simple toggle, and then we'll have end date. And then that will be, by default, let's say 1 year. I think that would be a good solution. And this will hide when not needed. Just wait, sorry, I should do this. Hide when not needed. Sorry, I keep forgetting the chats there. Okay, so I think that will be good. And then, oh, and I forgot to put on set day of the week. Daily/set day. And I think with set day, what we'll have is we'll have mon, jaw, word, and so forth like that. And then someone can tick those particular days. Daily/set day. I mean, I can squeeze that all into just one, the whole daily set day. We could just do it like as in like set days, and then the person can toggle on every single day and that becomes a daily thing. I think that's going to be a better solution. Less options that we have to worry about. And when someone edits this later on, they'll be able to easily sort of edit this. So yeah. And then instead of it being daily and they don't need to change the scheduling and all that kind of fun stuff, boom, I think, yeah, we'll simplify that and have daily/set day as one. As for weekly, we'll have a start date. In fact, we'll have pretty much all of that has end date. I should move that over again. And then end date. And then what we'll have is day. And that will just be a simple drop-down box. Nothing hard about that. That I think the weekly would look fine like that. And then that will also be the same with fortnightly. And then, yeah, the end date. We are. I feel like we should include number of repeats and have the end date and number of repeats connected. The reason why I'm saying that is A, so people understand how many times it'll run and so forth like that, and B, also we store the number of repeats in the back end. When someone's editing this, we kind of want to say these are the number of repeats, this is how many's left, and so forth like that. So when they edit the stuff, it actually shows, all right, cool, this is how many repeats from now will be left. Because someone might come in and be like, listen, we're scheduling these tasks weekly. They should be fortnightly. We need to give them that ability to change it from weekly to fortnightly and have this information changed. And, oops, these are linked. Okay, terrible side writing. Same with these. All right, cool. So going with the next thing, so weekly, fortnightly, they're going to be the same sort of thing. Start of the month. So how we, all right, yeah. I should have done the titles in a different sort of color, but that's fine. So start of the month. Start/end of the month. Start. I think we simplify this. I think we just have month/year in the naive components. And I think we can do this very, very easily in here. Maybe not. I mean, that's week, that's quarter, that's year. I feel like there you go, month. There you go. We have something that simple. Yeah. Then we have end date. Same as above. And once again, we'll have number of repeats and so forth like that. All right. X days before end of the month. It's going to be the start as up there, so same as prior, except days before is going to be an int. All right, and then what we could do is we could have some data being like Jan. If we say this is the 3 days before, it'll be Jan the 28th, Feb the blah blah. So if it's 27th, 24th, etc. So people know exactly when it'll run, and then we'll have the year on here. So 2024. For this will be actually be, because it'll be 29 days. The 26, 20, 24, and so forth like that. That's just to visually show someone, hey, this is what this is going to look like, so forth like that. And I think that's how we kind of want to show this data. The next thing we kind of want is, yeah, what data. The idea is, depending on the data, depends what we grab and show and so forth like that. Now, and validation wise, I don't know if I want to do this with multiple different data and then figure it out at a later date, or like, sorry, let me rephrase that because that was well off the mark. I don't know if I want to do this with multiple components or one single component, and then when that component changes, it'll update an object and send that data upstream. I have a feeling, because most of this will have the same sort of stuff, like the start, month and year and all that kind of stuff, that will be pretty much very similar. It's just that, yeah, we have the format will be different. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so this is just what I've got to sort of think through at the moment and be like, is it worth having multiple components that are very similar, or should I just go in and just be like, I can do this in one thing? And I probably can do this in one thing. I mean, that format and the month format, that should be fine. We can play around with that. If we go back to this, so essentially we'll have a start date, end date. So going from the top, I am going to tag which ones will be in all of them. So start date will be in all of them. Has end date, number of copies will be in all of them. This one will be in a couple of them. Weekly format, once again, all of them. That's just a brand new one. All of them, with the exception that this has formatted differently. And that's fine. And what will actually happen is, with this particular one, the day will be on the very first by default. That way I can be like, all right, cool, that is the day, and so forth like that. We don't need to worry about time zones or anything like that. And be like, all right, cool, that's running on the day. The end date, number of repeats, yep. Cool, that's the same. And yeah, so we do have a couple of components that are a bit different. Let's underscore them. So this one will be different. This one will be different, and this one will be different. So going from that bit of information, what we could potentially do is just use one component. And then in the export, it selects which bit of data it wants to send upstream and in what shape and so forth like that. And that's pretty easy to do. That's just a switch case statement. Yeah, you can even, because it has the basic sort of values, yeah, it's just going to be easy. You set up the base, and then what you do is, hey, if it's any of these particular ones with this bit of extra data, you just shove it in, and that could be a switch case statement or an if else statement and so forth like that, and you're just depending onto the object and so forth like that. This stuff here, that's just extra calculations which will happen on the screen. And if I go over here, yeah, we've done a lot of this. Last business day of the month, first business day of the month, that's going to copy these. So, I'm not going to worry about that. In here with the database wise, we've got the next scheduled. So this is creating it. So the next schedule will be the start date. We can calculate that in the front end. So for example, if we need to actually state that too for the user to understand, that's fine. The last run, that will be nothing in there. Number of repeats, we're going to be showing that to the user. Whereas, well, showing it if we have an end. The active, that'll be hidden. The run count, that won't be shown. The frequency, that's those set of values and so forth like that. And then we've got the attributes, so the frequency attributes, those will be in JSON. So that's what all of this will be in, and so forth like that. I just got to figure out the back end. And then the template ID, and that will connect to this, and that's perfectly fine. And that's scheduled object. Now I want to see frequency attribute. Oh, be careful, sweetie. Jesus. So scheduled object frequency. If I go to that implementation, we've got daily. Once again, I'm probably going to get rid of that. And once again, the only reason why set day of the week does cover that. And I think having the set day of the week is probably a lot stronger because you can turn off weekends and so forth like that. So, yeah. Cool. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. All right, cool. So, we've got the frequency, which is just set to that. We're fine. We'll pass through these particular values on the front end and all that kind of fun stuff. Object scheduler. So what we want here is we just really need a proper name for this thing. So it'll be down here. We could call it scheduler frequency. All right, export default name. It's going to be scheduler frequency. props. We don't know what the props are yet. Components. We don't know what the components are. Straight off the bat, what I could do is import date picker from naive UI straight away. I'm just double checking that that's just date picker. Yeah, it's just date picker because it does date time picker. All right, cool. So I know I'm gonna have that. I'm gonna have a couple of inboxes. I know I'm gonna have in select. And down here, what I want, n date picker, n select. All right. And we're going to shove it in here. And we're going to have defaults. So straight off the bat, you can leave it as default. So the default start would be tomorrow. We can't say that the schedule is going to happen today. The reason being is that cron job would have run already. So you would want to set these cron jobs up to happen as early in the morning as possible. And you don't schedule a task to run on that particular day. So, yeah. All right, sorry. I've got to clean my glasses. Got a bit of oil on them. So, yeah, we just need to make sure things are valid. We might need to pass things through into validation. We also need to make sure the checkboxes work how we want them to, and also make it look really nice. Especially on mobile. Oh, and add break. All right. So, welcome. Welcome. Yeah. We are figuring stuff out, which is great. I don't think that we'll make it for this month, but we would have pushed this particular functionality far enough to at least sort of test it, so I could do a pre-release of it where you just can't edit anything on the front end, but you can go back into the back end and edit JSON and stuff like that. Then we can work on fixing up the JSON and stuff like that. I'm a little worried that I haven't pushed any bug fixes out for the last week. That is something which I do kind of want to get on. I also need to get on with the documentation too, and I do want to start doing some videos soon. So yeah, I've just got so much on my plate that when the weekend comes, I'm just like, so yeah, I might next month only focus on finishing this and doing bugs, and just say this is it. I think I just need to do that. And then, Anyway, welcome back, everyone. Cool. So, we are back. So, going with this, we kind of want things in here. We kind of want defaults, and we kind of want the inability for people to not select anything. That being said, if they're not selecting anything for the scheduler, so for example, if we're looking at the set days and they don't select a single day, I don't think it will break the system. I think what will actually happen is the system will be like, all right, cool, this isn't going to be run on this day, cool, we'll move on. Which will be nice. So, yeah. Anyway, let's start rendering some of this stuff out. So we've got our template. What we want to do is let's do div class equals row, because we are just doing a row. We've got div class equals column MD4. We've got help text in here, and div class equals col MD8, and we've got objects here, like so. The next thing we want to do is put it into here. So there's scheduled objects. So we're just going to do this. We're going to scroll all the way up to our component section. What we're going to do is we're going to import scheduler frequency from here. Done. And now we just need to put it on the page. So it's going to belong up here. Actually, it's going to be that for the moment. We'll definitely be passing data up. So when there's a change of data and so forth like that, we'll definitely be passing it up. But it's going to be one way sort of set of data. We're going to have defaults. And what we're going to do is the defaults are going to match up here to the ones down below. That way, just on mounted, we'll just send up the defaults. That way, if we change anything in the scheduler frequency, it'll send up the latest data instead of us having to match it in two places. All right, I like that idea. Cool. So what we want to do, we've got scheduler frequency. We've got that. I'm going to hit reload, and we've got this. Sweet. Everyone's happy, except for the fact that we need simple HI here. And we just go like so. And then if we hit reload, there we go, perfect. So in here, I keep forgetting if it's a H3 or something like that. H2. Okay, scheduler frequency. Oh, yep. Choose the, now these themselves should be, okay, no, I've got, all right, give me 2 seconds. Yeah, all right, cool. Choose the appropriate schedule frequency, then fill out the required data. Please take note of the fields. And then what we want to do is number of, what are we calling it? Number of repeats. As I thought like that. We'll flesh this out at a later date. So straight off the bat is we'll have a div class equals form control, I think. Yeah, just form group, sorry. apart from the end select. And welcome, Lord Refa. Welcome. Thank you very much for the raid. It is greatly appreciated. What were you up to in your stream? And let's just make sure I am following you now. And there we go. And welcome everyone who joined in. Hello, Props Master. Welcome, welcome. So yes, I'm Robotic Head. I am working on an open source project management system called NearBeach. With NearBeach, you can gather basic organization and customer details. You can create Kanban boards. You can gather user requirements. And then once you gather those user requirements, you can then split them down into projects and tasks. And when you're ready to deploy, you've got requests for changes. So yes, and welcome, Seven Hero. So yeah. And thank you very much for the follow, Jack Kimberly. So yeah, welcome everyone. What I'm doing today is I'm building up a scheduler. So the idea being is sometimes you've got repetitive tasks. So one of those tasks might be a monthly report, in which case you've got to run a report every single month, or at the end of each month and so forth like that. So we're currently building that into NearBeach, and the idea is you can pick either to create or schedule a project to be created or a task to be created at a particular date. So we've got most of the basic sort of information down, so the object sort of structure down perfectly fine here. We are now working on the scheduler functionality of it. So I've been writing up quite a lot of stuff, and yeah. So for those that are interested, I use Django for the backend and VueJS for the front end. So Django is more of it does very basic rendering of the page, and then VueJS handles the rest. So yeah, I'm treating Django more of a hybrid in this sort of case. So yeah. So I've lost my train of thought, which happens so often it's not funny. All right, so what we're doing is we're just figuring out now, this is an end select. Because it's an end select, it needs to go, I don't think it works in a field group. So if I edit that as a HTML and I go div class equals, sorry, not field group, form group. And then of course at the very, very end, just add in that div statement. Yeah, it doesn't like that. Yeah, not a problem. So in here, I just need another div that does that, and then we'll just put in label. And what we want is we want to drop down that states what type of schedule you want. So by default, it's going to be set day. Now, what do we call it in the back end? Because, hey, object frequency. There we go. And then we'll have an n select in here where we'll have the options equals the scheduler object frequency. All right. Scheduler object frequency. So I'm kicking myself over the names at the moment. Good old Bootstrap. Yeah, good old Bootstrap. Version 5. I'm just using, hang on, we can actually show you exactly what version I'm using. We go into packet. Yeah, 5.3. I am terrible at design, so I heavily lean on what's already been designed. So yeah. I do dog food NearBeach, and through doing that, I've come through with different improvements and stuff like that. So yeah, and I'm always open for improvements. So, and then we've got, my end select. So vbind options, model. We don't need any of that. So yeah, we just need the model. Like so. And then what we have, I'm just going to remove that. Scheduler frequency options. Scheduler frequency model. Bootstrap is great base for projects and looks good. Yeah. I've also used Tailwind. I've used Bulma in the past. The one problem I had with Bulma is it loved hanging on to its own fonts, which annoyed everything out of me. Because I remember having to put in a client's font and then having to constantly go through the website and be like, this is annoying. Why is this font appearing and stuff like that? Tail would have been my next question. Yeah, so if we go to NearBeach's marketing site, this is Tailwind. So yeah, with a bit of me doing a bit of custom CSS where I didn't know how to do it with oops, sorry, that was meant to bang that over to the left. A bit of custom CSS where I know I can't do that in Tailwind, so I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna create that class and just add it in. So yeah. W3 CSS template. Sorry, I don't know the context. Cheers, thank you. Yeah, this design was a fluke. Absolutely fluke. I like the diagonal lines on this. I like the fact that the images, this is my image, and I like the fact that I could colorize it. I like the font. I came across that font by mistake, and I liked it. I like this sort of font too, though I've been told it's a bit hard to read for those who have bad eyesight like mine, well, probably worse eyesight than mine. So that is something I will have to fix. And then one day I was like, I want something big and bold that does this with the little highlighted text and stuff like that. And yeah, just played around for a bit and finally did it. And then you'll notice that this is just tail blocks from here on down. So yeah. All right, getting back into this. So we don't have those in here at the moment, but what we can do is we can key them in. So data will be not that, it's actually that, and then return that. Am I going crazy? Yeah, data is a function. And then return spelt correctly. And that's it. Alright, so sorry. Spelling is not my strong suit. Alright, so scheduler. There we go, spelt it wrong. Scheduler frequency model. We'll leave it as that for the start. And then scheduler frequency options. That's going to be value and label structure. So for the first one, I'm just going to have a look at the Django backend of things. So we're just going to have it as just text coming through to the database. Yeah, that makes sense. It's going to be a lot easier for someone if we just have it as text in the database. All right, cool. Actually, I tell you what, I am going to copy these lines. The reason being is I can do this quickly. All right, give me, oh. All right. And I fat finger all the time too. Hang on, hold on. Thank you. So what we want is we want, no, not that, value. I've screwed that up, but that's fine. Yeah, I'm making a mess now. I'm just going with it. So. All right. Oh, that's actually meant to be like. No, let's not do that. That's meant to be like that, and then it's like going to be like that. All right. That's not meant to be like that, and then we got label. And we do that, and then we get rid of that, and then we do that, and then we get rid of that. Hang on a minute. Why is that like that? Yeah, I've mucked things up, haven't I? Piss. All right. Cool. That looks horrible. Very horrible. Just seeing what else I've done elsewhere. I've just done it in one line. And it's just a, all right. Yeah, I've absolutely mucked up. I'm just going to pretend no one saw that. And I'm just going to do that. And I'm just going to be like, all right, do. I'm going to have a look at this again. Because all we need to do is if we go yank 7, go back in here, paste this in here, then all we need to do is just change this to this. Actually, undo that. Undo. Change. Change that to value. That works perfectly fine. And then we'll just have label. I need to relearn some of the Vim shortcuts where I can actually find a particular character or characters, so that way I can find the next one and so forth like that, and be able to edit it properly. I keep fat feeding green that key. Alright. That's looking a lot better than what I was doing just before. Terribly sorry you guys had to see that. That was just terrible. Alright, so we've got the scheduler frequency and all that kind of stuff. This should now save. We should be able to click on this and then set day of the week. So we want as a default is set day of the week. There are a bunch of objects where we can actually state, if we go into here and go select statement, we can select it so that no one can undo that value. And I think it by default it's set like that. So if we go refresh, set day of the week, cool. So by default, it's going to be set day of the week, which is fine. So we've got that. We then want the start date has end date, and we've got to calculate the number of repeats from that too. So if someone edits the end date or the number of repeats, they interchange the values. So yeah. That's going to be 2 functionalities. And then we got for this particular one, we've got the day on the bottom and so forth like that. But otherwise, everything else just will repeat. So let's jump straight into it. So we've done this div. Then we want start date. So we want div class equals form control. Actually, no, we don't want form control at all. This, once again, naive. UI, we want a date pick. Cool. So we want a label. And we want to have a start date. We then want an end date picker. And we're going to do a vModel value equals start date model. Sorry, not model. Model. By default, we're going to have it like that. I'm just thinking with the start date, we want to sort of disable any date that is from today and before. The reason why we want to disable today is the fact that you can't run the scheduled task today because the schedule is already run. In the future, we might want to change that and be like, all right, cool, we're going to enable that, and we might actually enable the scheduler to run at, let's say, 30 minutes or something like that, like check every 30 minutes and so forth like that. I don't think that might happen, but for the moment we want to tell the user, hey, this might not run today if you run it today. So thus we're going to actually have the end date picker disabled for today and prior. So to do that, what we can do is in here, so there's a way to do it. I'm on the wrong one. So we've got basic date pickers from month, year, quarter, weekly, default time. And that's another thing we're going to change too, is we're going to change the format. So depending if we're for an everyday one, we want just the calendar, but when we're doing start and end date of the month, we want this particular thing. So yeah. All right. Disable date. Extra footer icons, blur. Hang on, I know this is plausible. All right. Because we've done this before. Not extra footer. Not icons. Not a date range. Though that would be nice to implement. Not those. Not that. All right, we're going to have to look at another thing which I've done. So we've got between dates. And in between dates, we have the date picker. So type date picker. We've got the model. We've got the class. Is date disabled? Start date disabled. Is time disabled? Time disabled. So if we go to that implementation, and then we've got start date. All right, so it's going to be pretty much this. And the time we're not going to worry about. So we just need the dates. So start date disabled. We're just going to copy that. We're going to go down here. We're just going to go methods. That's an object. We're just going to paste it in and we're going to modify it. So we just have that. Oh, that's start date disabled. All right, so start date. If the user has flagged that they want to remove dates prior to today, we will. Disable date is false. Oh, I've mucked this up. Go to that implementation. So disable date timestamp. This is date times. Get the date, but level of time to 00. Yep. Return anything that is less than a day ago today. Ooh, and we've just hit another ad break. All right. Cool. Sorry, I put this on during ad breaks, so everyone knows you're not missing out on me coding. Exciting stuff, I know. So yeah, we do have Socks here, so I'm going to carefully do this. This is Socks. Say hello, Socks. I'm going to give her some treats. She's getting excited. She knows what this means. Stay there, sweetie. Stay there. Stay. Sit in your bed. Be good. Usually she gets up by now and runs around, be like, I'm getting treats. All right, cool. There we go. All right, so there's Socks getting lovely pats too. She's been good tonight. Now that she's gotten some treats, she'll probably be like, no, I don't want to sit here. I've got my treats. She'll go to sleep. All right, there we go. And welcome back, everyone. Just giving Sock some treats. So yeah, we'll jump back into it. Okay. So, return anything that is less than return anything that is less than a day ago. So, yeah, we can use this particular function. That's perfectly fine. So, yeah, because then the between dates, then that is, yeah, all right. And then we don't need to worry about that. And then it just becomes simpler. All right, cool. So I need to remove all of this. We've got a mix-in that we can use. So I'm going to go mix-ins, import. What is this? It's just date-time mix-in, isn't it? Yeah. Date. Yep, that's it. And then down here, we just have mix-ins. That is actually an array. And we just type in date time mix-in, like so. And then up here, what we want to do is we want to reference this. So disabled date. And then I think that's it. If we actually have a look at it, yeah, we passed through the start date. And yeah. Cool. I think that's all we need to do. So if we go back here, and we need to put this as a date time. So yeah, it's not going to be yeah, it's just going to be a date time. So what I want to do is we actually do something similar. If we list all the sprints, oh no, we don't do it there. Where do we do it? There's somewhere where I put the nice date and time in. Absolutely forgotten where it is. That's the one problem with this. This is a huge sort of project. No, it's not there. Not a problem. So what we'll do, refresh, realize something's gone wrong, realize that something huge has gone wrong. All right. Slot default. All right. Invalid time value. Damn. All right, between dates. What will that come through as? But all right. Start date disabled. Let's have a look at between dates once again. Sorry, yep. It's just like that. Console log, start date. And then what I want is return this dot disable date, timestamp, start date. I think. Yeah. That should work. I've got the start date model set like that. I'm going to copy that because I think that's what's going wrong here. And if I paste that in, and then I bump this up and be like, all right, sweet. So now I've got that in that. I'm going to hit refresh. I am realizing invalid time object. All right, that's fine. I'm just gonna, you know, and return true. And we're gonna wait a little while. This should take, yeah, milliseconds to run. And then we're gonna hit refresh. And then we're gonna cry a little bit more. Invalidate time, come off it. Staple cache. And then oh, I'm an idiot. Yeah, I was not using the model. Yeah. Yeah, I needed something like that. All right, that's the problem. Start date model. Let's hit refresh. Let's just piss that off for a minute. Let's get everything back. All right, sweet. Now let's add these things back in. We probably need a little bit of a space. So what I'm going to do, simple break. We're just going to copy this. No harm copying it. So there we go. Bang that in. Type date time. That will be, ooh. Let's go start date model. We don't need to worry about the time. We don't need to worry about the disabled. And then the start date disabled is down here. We will just end up using that, but that's perfectly fine. We're just going to hit refresh, realize that everything's just not working. Scroll all the way up to the top. We're ignoring the root URL thing. Invalid prop, please type check for the prop value. Expected number / array got object. All right, so we go to between dates again. Local start date model. All right. Okay. I'm mucking up here. So, yes. All right, data. Yeah, I don't think... Yeah, that's treating that as an object. I've been silly doing that. What we need is... We need a new date time. I think. I'm just going to do 0. All right, start date 0. And that's fine. Then what I want mounted is I'm going to copy this. Ah, shoot. All right. Okay, update start date. This dot start date model equals temp date dot get time. All right, I think that's it. Cool, done. Then what we need to do is we need this disable date. So I'm just going to key that in like that. And we're going to wait a little while. We're going to hit refresh. Done. But today is what we want to disable. That's the problem. Yes. The one reason why it's a problem is we need to tell the user, hey, it won't run today. It just won't run because you missed out of that schedule thing, because usually you would schedule these in the morning. You wouldn't want to schedule them during the day. When we think about doing hourly things and getting it to run at certain times and so forth like that, we might implement that. But I feel like we're going to need quite a lot of work around telling the user when the schedule actually runs and that it isn't on the dot, on the minute type of scenario, because if that were to happen, the instant the day crosses over, you're going to have to, the schedule is going to run a lot of tasks. It's the scheduled tasks and stuff like that. And a lot of people run things dead on midnight, and I don't like that. Whereas if we're able to be like, we're running it once a day, it runs at 3:12, perfect. All right. So and we need it just to be the date too. So if we look up here with the date time, we've got time date, type date. That's it. So date. Cool. Done. We could potentially run it through here and be like, return this, but double check it isn't today's date. I like that idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do that. And I'm going to go start date disabled. Okay, cool. Waiting a few seconds. We're going to hit reload. I'm going to move this to the left. We're going to click on this and bang, that did a lot of date times and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the last third one, and I'm just going to type in here a equals new date, and realize that I use my Mac copy keys instead. So I'm going to do that and do that. So that's January 6th, 2024. Huh? May the 30th. January the... January the 8th. Alright, I don't know why it's doing all of that. But I've noticed that all the timestamps are in 00. So we could potentially do this very easily. All right, cool. So going down here, what we want to do is we could potentially, give me 2 seconds. Data. All right. Today's date. What I'm going to do, I don't know if the arrow functions will work here. So I'm just going to go copy. And I'm going to paste them in. Oh, you piss off. Oh, fucking piece of. All right, cool. So we want to bump those up to 2, and then over here we want to return temp date dot get time. And I'm curious what today's date is going to look like. So hopefully it's not a function. Hopefully it's quite literally the int. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait 1 second. We're going to hit reload. We're going to bump into view. We've got new scheduled objects. We want to expand that. We want to expand the config provider. We want to go to schedule frequency, and today's date is a function. Damn it. And then if I copy the value, yeah. All right. Not what I wanted. All right, not a problem. So what we're going to do is this dot today's date equals temp date dot get time. Also, so what we want to do is have both the start date as today. Ooh, we should do that as today plus 1000 milliseconds times 60 seconds to a minute times 60 minutes to an hour times 24. All right, so that will add on 1 day and then today's date. All right, so by default, it'll be tomorrow, not today, which is what we want. Then in here, return disabled date, start date, or this dot start date model equals this dot today's date. I think it's as simple as that. Return disabled if prior to today's date or today's date. So what we want to do is hit refresh. I'm going to bump this thingy bob to the right so you guys can see. So if we click on here, ooh, doesn't quite. Yeah, I did want. Back from. Hey, welcome back, Nocturnal. So yeah, I'm just disabling today's date. Oh, I should move my camera now that, you know, Sock's got her treats and now she's wanting to go elsewhere. So yeah, I'm just figuring it all out. We've got a today's date type of thing. I kind of want to, we put it, yeah. Oh wait, I'm an idiot. It's meant to be start date. Waiting a few seconds, hitting refresh. Not quite, but damn. Socks, that's just a cupboard. Anyway, sorry, Socks wants the cupboard. Oh, did you want out? Alright, it's cold out there. Okay. I just want to run one thing. So if the start date equals this dot today's date, what we want to do is console log match. And then I want to be like this dot disable date and then start date. Like so. I just want to see if that works. Waiting a few seconds. I'm going to hit the console up on the right. And we're going to hit refresh. So match. So it's true. So we're not disabling this today. But what I could do is let disable date equals this dot disable date, and then I'm going to go start date, and then when this equals this, I don't know if it's meant to be false or not. Piss off. What the hell was that? It's like it's trying to fill out stuff for me. All right, waiting a couple of seconds. All right. Let's change this back to true. Waiting a couple of seconds. Still allows me to pick the 29th. Let's just play around. Let's just, you know, just cause devastation. And then I'm just going to do that. All right, we're just, at this particular point, we're just causing lots of devastation. I just want to see what is happening here. So, still, if I flip that, are we actually getting in here for starters? So if I hit refresh, are we getting here? We are. All right. And we got 168 times. I would use the date without the time. Yeah, let's I think it's stored in the integer values. So I've got to compare the integer values. I know why. This is going to sound stupid. It's because, and this is really stupid. If we look here, the start date is 0. On mounted, that's when we changed it. This is all run before mounted. Or shortly after, where we haven't updated this and it's still stuck at 0. All right. I'm going to have to do this in a different way. In this sort of case, I'm limited to this widget's ability. I don't have control over this, how the data formats this at all. Also, so yeah, there's those limitations. So what I could potentially do as a workaround, this will work perfectly fine. We won't need today's date or anything like that. What we would do is we'll have disable date from today and before. And it's going to be pretty much the same sort of code up here. Set minus this. Yeah. All right. Let's just do it. It's not the best way. Get date, but level the time to 0, 0, 0. So const date equals new date, which will be today. Date dot set milliseconds 0. Oops. Date dot set seconds. Date dot set hours. Return anything that is less than today. So return timestamp. And actually these should be 23, 59, 59. So milliseconds will be 999. Seconds will be 59. Hours will be 23. And where date.set minutes is... Why am I getting an ad break so early? Is it really... Oh, holy hell, it's 10. All right. Damn. 59. Oh, nocturnal. You're not on the ads or anything like that. Can't you get the date from the date time? I think you were going late today. Yeah, I started early. I just had so much stuff to do. So yeah, and I've spotted a bug right here. So date.set hours 0. Oh, not set hours. Set minutes. There we go. Because I'm forgetting to do that. Yeah, you're ad free. So yeah. Can't you get the date from the date time? Yeah, it's all in the integer sort of format. So yeah, hence this. So if I disable date from today for end of today. There we go. Sweet. So what I'll do go up here. Hopefully this will work. I've got to put this back onto here. Welcome back, everyone. All right, let's hit refresh. It is 10 o'clock. I do have to finish soon. Timestamp is not defined. Oh, don't know if that's in here. Because I am doing typos. Perfect. All right, sweet. Yeah, we just need to modify that and stop doing anything tricky. Easy function to do. Yeah, cool. So we've got it falling on today's date. Once again, it's pretty much just this simple sort of thing. We could probably move this. I think this is, this disabled date is used in multiple places. I don't think this is going to be used in multiple places. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove it from here. Fucking God. And I am just going to place it in here. Very messily. Don't forget to drop, everyone. I'm doing the shell shock. So I'm just going to lop all of that out. I'm just going to go start date, and I'm going to go start date. Actually, that's, yeah, disable start date. Yep. I'm going to bump that out. That's just going to be it. And then what I could potentially do is we won't need the mixins then. So remove code I don't need. Always the best. And then start date disabled. Like so, and simplify it. So yeah, because this is different, we're going to do this. And that's perfectly fine, having them mount it up and then set it up and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, and damn Nightbot cheating. And let's just hit refresh. And yeah, still works. If we do now, it won't work. So I need to get rid of that now button, just so that we can't click on anything. So if we, got actions, yeah, all right, cool. So if I scroll up and I go bind actions equals, and then we do nothing. Don't know if this will work. Only one way to find out, and we hit refresh. We've got no actions. All right, cool. So they can only pick the days. They can't pick now. All right, sweet. They can change the date and all that kind of stuff. All right, cool.